Hello. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an assembly of this Lego Botanical set. This lucky bamboo. This is just going to be a nice, relaxing video of the sounds and me talking through the build. Nothing fancy, just a low-key build of some Legos. And hopefully we'll get this nice bamboo plant in the end. Go ahead and open this up. So we have our bags here. Go ahead and remove this from the box. And with the manual, important to always read the manual. Bag 1 and bag 2. We'll set that aside. Lucky bamboo. A familiar presence in nature and gardens, the bamboo is also seen as a popular art motif. In a tradition that spans more than 1,000 years, it is often portrayed in ink and wash paintings as part of a classic quartet of beautiful plants known as the Four Gentlemen or the Four Noble Ones. Together they represent the virtues and continuous circle of the seasons, the bamboo, summer, the chrysanthemum, autumn, the plum, winter, and the orchid, spring. Able to bend without breaking in harsh winds, the bamboo stands for humility, honesty, and loyalty. All right, let's get this bag opened up. Get our pieces to work with here. Just a very tiny amount of organization. And we also have this small bag which I will need some pieces from. 4 of these brown round pieces and 4 of these pieces. So we'll go ahead and attach each component 4 times. And these will then be attached to this round piece. One on each of these. 4, not really sides since it's a circle, on each quadrant. And then we need these 4 flat 4x2 pieces. We'll attach in a cross shape. We're going to be leaving a gap in the center here, sandwiching on these side elements. There we go. And from our small pile, four of these small single round pieces. Here in between. We will flip the page. Now, 2 of these black 4x2 bricks into the middle here. And now we have these round pieces, which we will need to install to make a ring around the center here. Here we go. Gonna go around the circle. There we are. Okay, now we have 4 these profile hairdos. You can see that. I've never seen a piece like that before, though I haven't done much Lego building for quite a while. Alright, so these hook on this side peg here is going to form kind of the legs of our pot. Place those on there like that. Alright, and another black brick. And this bright green piece, darn near chartreuse, and another black brick, and then 2 of these to be overhanging that edge there, doing these across from each other. There we are. Now we need these 2 elements, 2x6 plank with this additional elevated portion, some side attachment points. put these alongside our pieces here. And then this 4x4 placed in the middle there. Now we need 4 of these 1x2s. Fill in these corner areas. Excellent. All right, now we're going to need a variety of pieces. Looks like we're going to need 4 of these longer gray ones, 4 of the shorter length 4 elements. Gonna need maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All of these white bricks. Couple accoutrements. These gold decorative elements. Nice metallic sheen there. And we're going to need some smaller pieces from the pile here. These gold bars. Gold. That's all we care about on this channel is gold. Along with that, 4 of these smaller gray pieces. We've got length 2, length 4, and length 6. And then calls for these, which look very similar to the other length 2 piece needed, but I believe these are clear, and we're going to need 12 of those. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, let's get started. The 6, we add 1 of you, 2 of you, and 3 of you. Top it with a 4. Some beautiful interlocking security. Top that with a 2. And now it looks like we give these a beautiful gold arched top with that little gold bar and this gold arch. Lovely. And we need to make 4 of these units. Going to be going around the edges of this. All right. So again, three of these fastened in place. A length 2 piece on top. And then our gold accoutrement. Have a nice shiny pot for our bamboo. There we are, number 2. 2 down, 2 to go. 3 of these. A 4 on top. 2 on top. Gold bar. Gold arch. And we have 3 done. Let's do the last one. 1, 2, and 3. On top there. And then our last little gold bar. Put that on there. Right, and we have our 4 elements. Right, now these get these clear pieces added to the bottom here. Those pieces together. All on there. There we go. And then these get mounted on this square element. Alright, it looks like we're gonna build up some additional elements here. So let's grab these. Looks like we need 8 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 of these little fellows. And 4 of these kind of tan, smooth cap pieces. Okay, so we just add 2 of these to each little gray 1x2, and then put this smooth cap on there. And let's do that again. 2 of those and a cap. Two of those and cap it off. And the last 2 pieces here. So we get our 4. Right, and then these are attached to the bottom here. Each side. There we go. Now these get filled in with these round elements. There we go. Closing this area. And one more. gets flipped back over. We need these 4 elements. We need 4 gold caps, and we need these 8 little Monopoly houses, tents, these little triangle elements. Alright, so a gold cap, and then a triangle pointed out like that on opposing sides. One of those. Let's get another cap on him. Do a triangle and a triangle. 2. Need 4 of these. Gold cap. Triangle on either side. And last one, put on his little gold hat. And attach a triangle again on either side. Alright, and these get installed in the corners. And it looks like we want the gold facing out, kind of fill in this gap. So it just tucks in there. 1 in each of these open spaces. And this last one. There we go. Alright, fairly continuous edge there now. Up next, the single gold decorated element. And we need 6 of these clear 4 dot long caps. 5 and 6. Looks like that's exactly the number we have. Alright, so let's have a look at this. Do have different colored pieces in here. I like to map that on here. Don't know how much that'll matter, but just looking to see if we can match up. And it looks to me like these are the darker gray elements on the edge here. And this will sit on those. 1 on each side. And then we get an inner one here in that bound. And then a second of these on each side. There we go. And then our decorative gold circle goes here. And we have these little balls. And each one looks like goes on a clear dot here. These clear dots were basically lights when I started Legos. Get little decorative elements now. Snap each of those in these globes, and these mount on those corners. Fits together so perfectly. Put 1 on each corner here. Looks like we're gonna build another set of those structures with these round elements. And this tan smooth cap. We'll be making 4 of these again. So 2 of these, cap it off, 2 to go, pop that on there, cap it off, and last one, including cap. And these again situate around this. Like that. Okay. Now this will be the last of the pieces from this bag. These arch pieces, cap this off. Slot each of these into place. Pretty nifty. All right. And then this is going to pair with this piece to finish our base. Let's go ahead and connect these two. Just get them lined up. And there we go. That's pretty cool. An ornamental base for our bamboo plant. All right, let's take a look at the second bag. Continue our assembly. These pieces roll, so that was a little dangerous. Always like to live on the edge here on the channel though. Since these are rolling, let's kind of straighten them out a bit before we dump out the little tiny bags. Don't want to lose any pieces. No doubt these will be the stem of the bamboo. Look at these little elbow macaronis. Nice. Shift you all over here. Have a bunch of tan flywheels. Clearly some kids have gotten mixed up here. Probably for a late model Dodge sedan. Okay. And lots of pedals. We'll kind of set these aside. It sounds like some of the classic sounds from the channel. And a couple lightsabers. Okay. Alright. Let's open up these smaller bags. Carefully slide these out here. And again with this bag. looks like pretty similar content. These little cylinders could roll away. Keep an eye on those. Okay. So colorful green. We're going to start with grays. Green cell gray. Gray cell green. Each one of these little fellas. It's right in the middle there. This kind of cantilevered piece goes on there. And then we need to find, I think this, we have the cross hole in it. So two of these, which tuck in beside there. In you go. Slot it in. Okay. Now we need two of these gray 1x1s. And again, one of these 2x1s. So this one goes in the middle there. These go on the end. And to cap that off and hold them all in place, a 1x6. Alright, another one of these goes on top here. And then this brick, the cross-shaped hole in it. Two of these angled pieces. And that gets capped off with this arch. There we go. And let's have a look. This apparently sits down in here, and from the way it's situated, I'm guessing this piece will mount on these pegs. There we go. Okay. Alright, and it looks like now we start on the bamboo with this piece, which appears to be 16 pegs long. We will need two of these, one of these green pieces with the hole, a single cylinder, and then we need four of these green rings. I think that is the only option in that color. Yeah, so let's get four of those. We need one of these. Looks like a thimble, kind of. Four of our brake discs. Flywheels, I don't know. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 of these cylinder pieces. And it looks like I need one of these half cylinders. Alright, so we start here, add this element, then cylinder on one side, and this block with the hole next to it, and this gets capped by this piece. Looks like we flip it over and insert our axle into that element. There we go. And it looks like now we slide one of these down. We make a grouping of two of these cylinders, capped with one of these smoother green circles. Actually, don't lose this guy. Then we'll invert and add it here. Push that down. Friction there. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. So stack up 2 of these. Cap. Stack up 2 of these. And cap. And between, we add one of our tan discs and slide this down. Not the most stable surface here. Another tan disc, and add this to the top. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We finish off with the 4th tan disc. We turn the page. I'm going to set this down since it wants to tip. And it looks like we take one of these cylinders. We add these 2 flat circles to it. Then take this last cylinder element, add it to the top. And again, we'll cap with one of these smooth green ones. And this is going to go onto our stack. I believe that will complete our central stem there. And it looks like that then gets added to our base here. We have 3 holes in the base. Let's go ahead and slot this in. There we are. First bamboo stem. We're going to build another one, it looks like. This shorter red piece. 3 of my green circles. 1 of the tops of the plant. 3 flywheels, 2 turtle doves, 7 of these little cylinders. We'll need another one of these blocks and a small green cylinder. And again, one of these half circles, which I will add to the top here. Kind of like before, the opposite direction. We add this block with the hole in it. Have this one facing this side here like that. And we cap that off. There we go. Turn the page. The red axle goes in, and we repeat our drill. 2 of these plus a green cap. 2 of these plus a green cap. And it's not deja vu. 2 of these plus a green cap. Alright, again, we're going to separate with the disc. Feed one down. Add a disc. Feed this down. Another interstitial disc, and our last element. Pop that in. And then this one goes directly on in this slot. Small variation in height at the base and shorter overall. Right, so that's 2 stems, and we're going to go for a third. 4 of these, 1 of these halves. Our shortest axle, black, and 8 long. 2 of our green discs, 1 of these green circles with pegs, another little green cylinder, and 1 of these blocks. And we'll need 2 of these, and our cap. So this goes on, cylinder, and have that facing that way, and cap. So I'm realizing in the first one I made, I have this all oriented a different direction. So I'm just going to pop that cap off, pop the cap, reorient that, and put our cap back on. Unpop the cap, if you will. Small detail, I think it just will control the orientation of the leaves. Don't know how significant that was, but I realized we'd done that wrong. Alright, so now that that has its cap, can put in the axle, we get a disc, place a green cap on it, slide that down, add our little tan disc, and this one doesn't get 2 full cylinders, it gets this smaller piece. Still gets its green disc on the top. That is added to the column, which is our last piece here. Right, and I'm going to add this. Wants this to face away from these 2 stems when we add it. There we go, our 3 stalks of bamboo. Alright, now we get to use the elbow macaronis. Very fun. Looks like we need 3 of these green dots. We need 6 of these cylinders. There we go. 9 of these little wrenches. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll need our 3 lightsabers. We need 6 of these little handles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3 of these kind of little flowers. Alright, so macaroni gets this plus a lightsaber inserted. The flower goes on that. Looks like we take one of these handles, insert it into a cylinder, and we're going to make two of these that are going to slot on there. So this slides down. There we go. And the next one, kind of put at a right angle there. And then we add these little claws and get one in the middle here too, like that. Alright, kind of making our shoot. And we are going to need these three little red connecting axle elements, and I'm making three of these pieces. So we start, put this in there, lightsaber, flower, leaves. I guess maybe they're just leaves. I don't know anything about plants. Little handle guy here on the cylinder. These slide down. Like that. And top them off with the claws. Right, number two. I think it kind of wants those rotated. We'll see about that. Alright, last one. Pop this in. Add our bar here. Slide down the leaf piece. And pop handles into our cylinders. Slide this down onto the rod. Same with this one. And claws all around. Here we go. Okay. So we have three of these, and each one gets one of these inserted to the other end of the macaroni. Get these in there. And so grab our plant here. And these are going to get added to the little holes in the blocks that we have here. So let's just slot these in. Perfect. And last one here. Beautiful. So we've got our various shoots coming off of these stems. Alright, now time for some leaves. To make 9 of these. Alright. So we need 9 of these kind of little arched stair steps. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 of these smooth dark green pieces that go along with them. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There we go, making sure they're all accounted for. And then 9 of these kind of hinge mounts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so to build one of these, we start with this piece. Going to add this there to kind of connect these two pegs. Then we add a second leaf on there. That front peg, and secure with one of our dark green pieces. And it looks like that'll let us adjust the position of the leaf. Alright, so let's do another. We got 9 of these to do. So these two go together. Leaf binds them. Add an additional leaf. And this dark green piece to lock it on. Alright, 2 of the 9. 22% complete. Let's keep going. Another leaf. 33%. Leaf on there. Leaf number 2. Which gives us 4 of these. 44.4 repeating percent of our total. This is number 5. There we go. Let's do 6, which will get us 2/3 of the way there. Lego fractions. Alright, 3 more to go. Goes on there. We'll get our leaf added, and another leaf, and that gives us 7 of our 9. Hook these two together, secure them with another leaf, add the additional leaf, and lock those together. Alright, 1 more to go. Get those fastened. Add the leaf. And the leaf. And our last piece here. There we go. That makes 9. And I believe we will have 9 attachment points that we will clip these two. So let's try it. Try not to destroy everything. There we go. Clip you on there like that. Looks like that one is rotated in this, which Just matching the orientation so I don't end up some crazy confused state. And bring this guy around to this side. Clip him on. And let's do this last fella on there like that. Clip that on. And finally you. Alright, so I'm gonna bring this back around to this orientation. Again, for this one, it looks like everything is kind of lined up like the others. Each one kind of has two going that way and one in the front. I feel like this is the kind of thing you should style it the way that you want. And lastly, we make 8 discs, which are basically going to be the stones in our setup here. So 4 flat matte discs, and we have, or rather 7, we're looking for 8. 6 shiny. There we have the 4 matte discs and our 8 shiny discs, and we just pair these up to make rocks. Try not to lose our rocks. There we go. That is that. Alright, and we have our rocks, and these we're gonna just tuck in here. They can be kind of oriented how you like. Flip one out. 2 to get a different look here. And that is our bamboo plant. And that is our bamboo plant. Very cool. I hope you have enjoyed building this with me. Do let me know in the comments, and if there are other builds you might want to see. But hopefully you found it relaxing, this build of a Lego Botanicals Bamboo Plant. Have a wonderful night.